Mercedes-Benz C63 AMG has been an Aussie favourite for several years, thanks to its blend of effortless V8 power, tough looks, and a little bit of luxury on the side. Now, this is the new C63, and it aims to build on those attributes with more performance and more luxury than before. Let's check it out. The must-have for any hot rod is its engine. Now, Mercedes has downsized the C63 from a 6.2 litre naturally aspirated V8 to a much smaller 4 litre unit with twin turbochargers. The question is though, does it really still stack up as a muscle car? The answer unequivocally is yes. That engine is an absolute gem. So the motor makes 375 kilowatts of power and 700 newton meters of torque, which is absolutely massive. And in fact, it's more than you even get in the AMG GT supercar. Now, that new engine is linked to the same transmission as the previous C63. It's a 7-speed automatic that doesn't use a torque converter. It's got a clutch pack instead that allows it to lock up, offering very snappy shifts and quite direct launches as well. Now, moving from naturally aspirated to turbocharged induction, there's a real risk of having turbo lag in the car. Basically, it's a delay in the response between you getting on the throttle and the car picking up and going down the road. Now, that is really something you don't need to worry about in this car. You just give it a little squirt and it absolutely flies straight away. There's instant response and just a wall of torque that you can serve. Now, that grunt is enough to allow the C63 to accelerate to 100 kilometers an hour in 4 seconds flat, which is no time at all for a car of this size. It also has a top speed limited to 290 kilometers an hour in the sedan, or 280 if you get the wagon. Now, one of the other differences of the new C63 is its new electromechanical limited slip diff, which means the car's much better at getting its power down. It basically gives the car the ability to completely lock up the rear axle or leave it completely freewheeling, giving it the variable nature it needs to be able to drive out of a corner as hard as possible and try and make use of all that torque in the form of traction. It's a pretty good setup, and it's one that works quite well with the new dynamic drive modes that are in the car. Now, unlike BMW, Mercedes has usually set up its cars with different pre-selected modes, basically. Now, this car has those different settings, but it also has an individual mode, which allows you to tailor the car to your own preferences. Now, on the road, this thing drives just like a normal C-Class. There's perhaps a little bit more road noise that you get from the big tyres that are fitted to it, Michelin Pilot Super Sports that are just about as sticky as anything you're going to find on a new car these days. But it also has a great ride. The variable ride system is quite effective, and it means that you can have a fairly comfortable ride on the road unless you put it in the racing mode and the dynamic mode, which makes it quite firm. Now, the sedan's priced from $154,000, while the wagon's about $2,500 dearer at $157,500. Now, for that you get quite a bit for your money. Australian C63s are very, very highly specified. We get loaded up with 19-inch wheels, leather trim, sports seats, satellite navigation, a comprehensive driver assist suite that includes lane departure assistance, forward collision warning, autonomous emergency braking, all kinds of stuff that's really good to have. And you also get this lovely flat-bottom steering wheel with big metal shift paddles, trimmed in leather and a substance Mercedes calls Dynamica, which is really suede or like Alcantara, but not that because it's a registered trademark. Now, the interior of the C63 is a pretty cool place to be. Fitted as standard, we've got this dark raw finish wood grain throughout, but of course you can option that out and get some carbon fibre in there if that's what you'd really like. The car is also available with an optional Edition 1 pack that has red stitching throughout the carbon fibre and quilted seats with lots of red throughout as well. It's a bit of a cool pack, but it's also a little bit gimmicky for my taste, as it comes with things like stickers and red bits on the wheels that might not work for everybody's taste. On the road, the AMG still does drive like a C-Class. The big difference is that it's still a mongrel. I mean, here we are on the Great Ocean Road, and when the opportunity strikes, you can just knock it down a gear, tip into a corner and have a big go. It is just a sensational car. It retains the hot rod character of the previous model, but it's more polished as well. The C63 has grown up, but it hasn't lost that attitude, and that is really special. This is still a car that is absolutely thrilling to drive. It's still a car that's incredibly quick and still one that demands respect. It's still the C63 we know and love. The C63 AMG has retained its character. It's still two cars in one. It blends the best elements of the C-Class with genuine AMG performance, and it should be an Australian favourite for more years to come.